Let's go around and introduce ourselves just so we can kind of get to know each other. And we'll start to my right, if I may. And Becky Martin. And I'm going to go ahead and wave to the camera. I know we have a couple of people that have registered for online classes that really actually cannot make it on Monday nights, but what they do is when I send them the link the next day, they watch it at their leisure during the week. So glad you guys are joining us. So the scripture for tonight is from the book of Joshua, and it's Joshua 10, and it's verses, it roughly starts around verse 5, but I'm not going to read all of that. I'm going to start at verse 11 and read through 14, so just 4 verses. There's a lot in here. Again, Joshua 10, starting with verse 11. As they fled before Israel, while they were going down the slope of Beth Horon, the Lord threw down huge stones from heaven on them as far as Achaia, and they died. There were more there that died because of the hailstones than the Israelites killed with the sword. So it sounds like, wow, clearly we're in a war. And I'll give you the context in just one moment. Verse 12. On the day when the Lord gave the Amorites over to the Israelites, Joshua spoke to the Lord, and he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand at Gideon, and moon in the valley of Aljalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, until the nation took vengeance on their enemies. Is this not written in the book of Jashar? The sun stopped in mid-heaven and did not hurry to set for about a whole day. There has been no day like it before or since, when the Lord heeded a human voice, for the Lord fought for Israel. So again, nothing's pretty or good news about war. And so what's happening is, if you remember, the Israelites wandered in the desert for roughly 40 years. Moses has passed away, and Joshua is now in charge. He was Moses' right-hand man, and Moses really groomed him to take this position. So in moving into the promised land, there are many tribes there that the Lord told them earlier they could not attack. In other words, there are many tribes where it appears that the Lord tried to turn their hearts, which is a really nice thing to think about, and it didn't happen. So long story short, on this particular day, Joshua was going out for a battle, but the king of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon gathered their forces and went up with all their armies and camped around Gibeon and made war against them. So Joshua thinks he's going to go fight one army, and he ends up fighting about 5. He travels all night. He's trying to surprise this one army from behind, and he wakes up, and there is everybody. And he doesn't panic. And he doesn't kind of grumble to himself, this is just my luck. Why does everything have to happen bad all at the same time? Joshua, if we kept reading, Joshua interpreted it as the Lord is taking care of all of my enemies in one day. I don't have to spend weeks fighting and hunting down all of these people. They all showed up, and they're all going to be beaten today, as in war. So all of that to say is, it's not the same situation. Gratefully, we are not at war. And yet sometimes I feel like we are within ourselves. You know, I saw something too. Oh, good, somebody joined us. Hi guys, a couple people. Hey, good to see you guys. But instead of us viewing when things in life happen all at the same time, negative things in life, and we've all had those days, those weeks, those seasons, haven't we? Where just everything is not working well. Maybe we could gain some insight from Joshua, and maybe we could view it as God's bringing all of these things, all of this fruit, all of this change is going to happen right now, instead of us having to wait for it. So that's what I wanted to bring forward tonight. Joshua asked the sun to stand still, and in our own symbolic way, we could do the same thing with God. God, I need you to hold the sun for me while this season passes, because it's really stressful for me. Father, I need you to help me figure out how to deal with this situation or this person because it's really challenging for me. Thank you, babe. Sorry, I just heard some people walking by. Thanks, guys. So that's where we are today, and that's where we're going to start. Thinking about a place of gratitude. I want us to start with our diaphragmatic breathing. That's always where we want to start. So we are in a seated position. I want you to take your hands, or if you're protecting your wrists, fist for wrist, and you're going to bring them behind you. I want you to switch legs. Whatever leg was on top is now on bottom, and vice versa. And we do that because we have favorite sides. And we want to not have favorite sides. In yoga, we want to bring balance to both sides of the body. So let's begin with our eyes closed as it is comfortable for you, with your right hand in the center of your chest and your left hand in your lower abdomen. Let's take a long, deep, fluid breath as we transition from our busy start to the week into a time of introspection and movement and prayer. And if we could hit that Spotify and turn the volume down a little bit, that'd be wonderful. Thank you so much from the very top. So just breathe naturally. And if you need to, like maybe even do a sigh or an exhale. Just let the stress of the day exit with your breath. We're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the same. Inhaling a long, fluid, deep breath in through your nose, let it move into your lungs, pass through the gateway of your diaphragm and enter your belly. And then when it's time to exhale, you'll release the breath out of the belly first, up and out of the diaphragm, out of the lungs, and out of your nose from which it came. And by keeping our lips closed and breathing in and out through our nose only, it keeps the warmth of the breath within the body, which we want as we're going to start moving. It also is a cleaner breath as our nose hairs act as filters. So long, fluid, deep breath. And exhale through the same. Long, fluid, and deep breath. And exit through the nose. On our next inhalation, we're going to slowly open our eyes. We're going to bring our arms to our side. And as we inhale, we're going to reach and stretch, our eyes moving up towards you, Father. As we exhale, we bring our pressed palms together past our head and our face, through our heart center, and we release them. So inhale, open the chest, lift, and as we exhale, keep the heart lifted as just the hands come down. And as you continue moving through this flowing breath, I want you to feel the sits bones connected to the mat below you, the crown of your head reaching for God above you, and notice how that lengthens your spine. One more, just like this. As we inhale, we'll reach our arms up, and as we exhale, we'll lower our left arm. We're going to reach up with our right, and then we're going to slowly lean toward our left, opening our right oblique. This left hand is there for you to press into. Reach with those right fingertips, tall and long. Good. Shoulder from crossing over the front. So you want to kind of do this around the top of the spine and have a curl or a twist. Let's keep that chest open. Let's extend that arm next to the ear and let's breathe. As we inhale, bring both arms above the head. And as we exhale, hands through the heart center. Nice. Inhaling again, reach and stretch. And this time as we exhale, we lower the right hand, the left arm reaches up. And then as we exhale, it moves toward the left ear, palm is flat, fingers are reaching, and we breathe. Nice. Stretch. This is a very active stretch. So I don't want you to relax in that top shoulder. I want you to keep it open, that chest open. Sounds kind of strange, but I want you to keep your armpit open because in doing so, I know that the chest is too. Good. On our next inhalation, let's bring it up. And as we exhale, our hands to the heart. Good. This time as we inhale, we're going to reach up. And as we exhale, we bring our hands forward. I want you to bring your hands in front of you. I want you to start walking them forward. And breathe. I'm going to scoot my sits bones back. I'm going to readjust. I'm going to reach with my fingertips. And now as I exhale, I'm going to relax the chin, relax the head. I'm going to shake the head yes and nod no, or nod yes and shake no. Keep walking with those fingers, elongating the shoulders, the fingers, the arms. And as we inhale, slowly walk the hands up. Very nice, guys. We're going to bring these hands behind us. I want you to switch legs. So the one that you like to be on top now is. Going to move through a little bit more quickly this time, still taking our time. But now that we know what we're going to do, we're going to do 2 breaths just like this. The next inhalation is going to find us with both arms extended. And as we exhale, left arm lowers, right arm lengthens up first, and then over toward the left side. We can bend this left elbow in toward the left rib cage or hip bone, if that helps. And we extend and lengthen. See if you go a little bit farther than you did last time. Go a little bit lower. See, yes, excellent. Now as we inhale up with both arms actually, exhale through. Inhale, we reach and stretch, opening the chest. Hi, Lisa. And as we exhale, opposite hand is down. We lift up first, and as we exhale, we lower. Feel it in that left oblique stretch. Wow. Go a little bit further than you did last time. Inhale, lengthen the left arm. Exhale, see if you can lower the side body. And as we inhale, let's bring both arms up. Exhale to the center line. Let's take a cleansing breath here. One more. And now as we exhale, we're going to walk those fingers forward. Notice if it's a little bit more comfortable on this side than the other. One hip might be a little bit more flexible, and if it's on top, it's going to allow you a little bit more leverage. Let's shake and nod the head, yes and no. Reaching with the fingers, stretching the shoulders. In our next breath, we're going to walk our hands up toward our legs. Let's release our legs and bring them around behind us. We're going to move into an all fours position. I'm going to go ahead and take my socks off here. You feel comfortable to do whatever you want. Just learn there's certain periods it's easier to take some layers off. All right, we're going to move into a tabletop position. So let's bring our knees under our hips. Let's bring our wrists under our elbows, which are under our shoulders. Our fingers are open like a starfish unless we're doing fist for wrist. Tops of our feet can be flat, or they could be curled under. We want to open up the arches of our feet. Let's begin with a neutral spine. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose only. And now as we exhale, tuck the tailbone under, tuck the chin under, and lift up and arch the spine. This is our cat. Good. And as we inhale, let's do the opposite cow. Let the belly move forward, let the tailbone lift up, and move the sternum, the bony part of your breastplate, toward the wall in front of you, the cross in front of us. Good. Exhale, round into cat. And inhale, open into cow. So I want you to flow with the pace of your breath, which may be different than how I'm pacing it. That's completely fine. Flow from one pose to the other and back again. Articulating each vertebra of the spine. Exaggerating the movement. Really lifting up like a Halloween cat that we see at that time of year. And really tilting the tailbone behind you and opening the heart. Do one more set of each. Nice. And let's release to all fours. From here, I want us to extend our right leg. Toes are on the mat or just off of it. Hands are underneath your shoulders, left knee under your left hip. From here, I want us to lift up with that right foot. Foot is flexed. Excellent. On an inhalation, we're going to reach with the opposite left arm. So the belly is going to pull up towards your spine. It's going to really work on our abdominal muscles here. Let's reach with the left arm toward the cross in front of us. Remember, the back heel's flexed. It's like you're pushing the wall behind us away. And it's like we're reaching for Christ and that cross in front of us. Excellent. Let's exhale and lower the left hand first, followed by the right knee. And do a little cat-cow to reset in between. Nice. Let's extend this left leg behind us. Flex those toes. Heel is lifted. Just feel the abdominal engagement. This may be where you want to be tonight. If this is providing enough of a challenge for you, then by all means, we can stay here tonight. If we want to, we can extend this right arm, reaching for the cross. Left foot is flexed into the wall behind us, and we breathe. We can either look toward the cross at our right fingertips, which are reaching, or if we're taking care of our neck, we can look down at the mat just below our gaze. And as we exhale, let's set the right hand back, left knee, and let's push ourselves back in our first extended child pose, Utthita Balasana. Nice. Remember how we rocked side to side, or if you're joining us for the first time. So we're just going to take ourselves to a rocking position, side to side, massaging the forehead and the muscles that are often furrowed there. Good. Let's bring ourselves back up to all fours. Good. Let's reset, knees and hands under hips and shoulders. Let's extend the right leg. Keeping in mind where we want to practice, let's extend the left, and we can reach here. Excellent. If you'd like to add a little bit more movement, I'm going to keep showing you. It's like you're at a buffet, and I'm going to keep offering items from the menu. You don't have to. If you found what you like, you can stay right there. Another option for us would be to bring our elbow and knee under the body and extend as we release. So the inhalation touches and the exhalation pushes. Good breathing. Extension and then contraction. Inhale, exhale. Very nice. Working the core, working our balance, and we breathe. Let's do one more just like this. We'll set that left arm down first, followed by the right knee. Let's do a cat-cow on our own in between to reset and regroup. Kind of cleanse the palate, if you will. Let's do 2 cat-cows. Good. All right, left leg behind us. Foot is flexed. Right arm reaches. And we extend. Very nice, guys. Stay here, or if we'd like, start to bring opposite elbow to knee under the body, and then extend as we inhale. Reach on the inhalation, draw the elbow and knee under the body on the exhalation. You got it. You can feel the heat that it's starting to build in the core. You can feel the balance that it's requiring of us. There are standing balances. This is a kneeling balance. One more. Good. Right hand down, followed by left knee. Open up your knees nice and wide, and then gently draw yourself back, Utthita Balasana, extended child pose. You can rock the shoulders side to side. Let that forehead be massaged. And we breathe. Inhale, we bring it up. One more option in our buffet here. Start with the right leg extended, left arm extended. Pardon me. Good, here we are. So in addition to bringing opposite elbow and knee under the body, we can take left arm out to the left side, right leg out to the right side. There we go. Inhale back to the center. Woo. You're inhaling as the body's in alignment, exhaling on the exertion of moving out to the side. You're going to feel that in the abductor, the outer thigh. You're feeling that in your abs too. Watch this hand. It's going to want to kind of waver around. It's going to kind of want to dip. Try to keep that hand in the same plane. Excellent, guys. Yes. One more just like this. Woo. So the left hand and the right knee. You got it. Let's reset with a few cat-cows on your own with your breath at your pace. Good. All right. Left leg behind us, right arm extended. Take the right arm out to the right side, left leg out to the left side. Now remember, if this is a menu item that you prefer not to put on your plate, by all means, we can take it back to the very beginning where we lifted one at a time, or you can lift together and crunch under the body, your choice. Hold the breath. It's the fluidity of the breath that actually is going to allow you to maintain movement. Watch the tendency of that arm. Now it's the right arm to dip. Keep it in the same plane. And imagine if you had a mirror in the back of your head, or eyes rather in the back of your head, and you could see your left foot. Try to keep it in the same plane too. Woo, one more. Exhale, we lower right hand, left knee, Utthita Balasana. Nice. Good. From here, we're going to lift up partially, draw our knees into hip distance apart. Let's curl those toes under and get ready for our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, we bring it up. Exhale, we lower those heels. I'm going to keep my knees pretty soft right now because my hamstrings are very tight. And let's pedal our heels out one at a time. But if you would like to keep your legs a little straighter without locking them, by all means. Go ahead and shake your head yes and no. I'm going to lift it up so I can see you, but you stay in your downward dog or your child's pose. Excellent. Tailbone is pointing up toward heaven. Exhale. Your heels are sinking. Yes. Inhale, push away from the mat, spread fingertips. Remember, shake that head. Yes, no, you don't want any tension in the neck. Beautiful, guys. Nice. From here, we're going to look forward with our eyes, and we're going to step, lunge, or hop our feet between our hands. We're going to slowly sweep it up all the way up. Exhale, take it down. Good. Let's inhale. Let's move into a half monkey pose. We're on our fingertips. Our hands could also be on our shins. You choose where you want to be today. We're lengthening the back of the legs, so you're going to feel it there. And we breathe. Just taking a moment. From here, let's flatten the hands one at a time. Let's step back 1 foot at a time. Let's come into our first plank position. Now remember, here's our modified plank. Both of our knees are down. Still very much an upper body exercise. So stay here if you'd like, or move into full plank, your choice. As we exhale, we lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. We draw the elbows to the rib cage as the chest lowers as one unit. On an inhalation, I'm going to come into a baby cobra. My hands are still here. My elbows are back. It's as if I'm squeezing a tennis ball between my scapula and I'm raising my chest up. Oh, I can feel it. My toes are pointing away from me and the tops of my feet are on the mat. Excellent. Exhale. Let's curl up and back. Utthita Balasana, extended child's pose. Nice. Take a deep breath. Inhale, let's glide right on up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And here's where you're going to extend that tailbone as high as it'll let you go. Yep, keep going. Push your heels down. Good. No, you can't see me, but my words will get you there. Looking between your feet, looking between your knees. Yeah, keep pedaling those heels out. Movement creates heat. Opening those tight hamstrings. On our next inhalation, we're going to step, lunge, or hop our feet forward between the hands. We're going to reverse swan dive, bring it all up. And as we exhale, our hands to our heart. Very good, guys. We're going to pick up our right leg, and we're going to set it behind us. We're going to move into warrior one. So I actually went really far back, but I want my lower right heel to be connected to the mat, and my hips are tight. Yours may be too. So I'm going to need to shorten my stance to get the correct hip posture here. Both hip bones facing forward. Okay, let's go ahead and bend this front knee a little bit deeper over that front left ankle. Good. Now let's lift up with the body. With the body to make this arch, this nice arch. Lift the body up. Relax the arms. Good. Bring them all the way up next to the ears, and we reach. Reaching for you, Father, who is always reaching for us. Warrior pose, Virabhadrasana 1. Reach. Feel strong like a warrior. And this time as we exhale, we're going to open to our right side for Virabhadrasana 2. Now we can open those hips. Now we can slide that back right leg a little further if that feels good to you. Opening the chest and the hips to the wall to your right, but your gaze stays over your front middle left fingers. Notice that left knee. Keep it bent nice and deep over the left ankle. Good, guys. Pull the belly in. And now from here, let's reach forward with an uplifted left palm. Now let's send that skyward as we breathe. Try to relax that front shoulder down away from your face. Beautiful. Look into the palm of that open hand. Excellent, guys. And as we exhale, we're going to cartwheel the hands down on either side of this front left foot. And then we're going to walk them to the right side. Just go ahead and walk them right off to the right side of your mat. Turning your body, we're going to do a standing straddle split. So here we are standing. Let's bring our elbows down just as much as we're able. Elbows may touch, they may not. Both sets of feet are facing the wall to the right of your mat, which is the same wall that your head's facing. You can lower down on your elbows if you're able. Stay on your palms if you'd like. Now I want you to shift the weight back into your heels. Lift your tailbone up, pull your belly in, and feel that all the way up the hamstrings, into the psoas, piriformis, all those that get really, really tight. Nice. Inhale. Let's come back to palms if we weren't already. Let's walk our hands around to the front, softening this front left knee. Let's step the left foot back to meet the right and come into a plank of choice. Full plank or modified, as we showed earlier, your choice. Let's exhale and lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Let's inhale, open the chest, baby cobra or cobra of choice, which just means no hands. And then some of you may choose up dog. I'm going to stay right here. This is definitely challenging me. I can breathe, but I'm feeling it. Exhale, let's push the hands down for support. Curl the toes up and back. We rise. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. See if each time you come in a down dog, your tailbone can't get a little bit higher and your heels get a little bit lower. Woo. Drop the top of your shoulders away from your earlobes. I know it seems weird. You're inverted, but those shoulders can still climb toward the ears. Let them drop and relax. That's it. Now looking forward between the hands, we're going to step, lunge, or hop the feet here. And in a reverse swan dive, we're going to bring it all the way up. Nice. Exhale through the center of the body. Take another cleansing breath just like that. This time as we inhale, let's clasp the fingertips above us. Let's ground our toes. Let's send our hips to the left, your left. Take your fingers to your right. Gaze into the inside of that left elbow. Nice. Let's inhale and bring it back to the midline of the body. And from here, now let's send the right hip to the right and our fingertips to the left, gazing on the inside of our right elbow. And we breathe. Inhale back through the midline, and exhale, we release as we swan dive. Nice. Inhale, half monkey. Fingertips can be on the floor, they can be on the shin, you choose. And as we exhale, let's relax in that fold again, and reverse swan dive, bring it all the way up. Hands pressed together above our eyes. And as we exhale, we bring it to our heart. Good. This time we're going to step back with the left foot. Warrior one. Now, every side of the body is different, as we noticed in some of our other exercises. So see where you need to be. Now, on this one, warrior one, both hips are facing forward. The right knee's in front, left foot is in back, the left foot is making contact, but you're at like a 45-degree angle. Good. Let's get the legs first. Just set the legs always first, any pose. Play around with it. Now, once you have that, relax the arms. Let's bring them up toward the ears. Let's create that arch in the body like a bow, and we reach up for him who is always reaching for us. Warrior one is a balancing pose. It's a back bend, and it's also a big lunge. There's a lot happening here, and we breathe. As we exhale, let's open to Virabhadrasana or Warrior two to your left. Arm is now in the front. You're gazing across the tops of the wrinkle. Watch the tendency for it to dip in or out. Supinate or pronate. Oh, and I want you to feel tall in the crown of your head. Push your tailbone down. That's north and south. Our arms are east and west. Excellent. Breathe. Strong and tall like a warrior, like Joshua was. From here, we reach forward with that front right arm. Palm is lifted. Let's take it up, but keep that front knee bent as that backhand rests on the back thigh. And we breathe. Reverse warrior. We breathe. We reverse the plans of our enemies when we rely on God, when he fights for us and takes them all down in one day. As we exhale, let's bring both hands down on the inside of the right foot, and then walk them off the left side of your mat. Coming once again into that standing straddle split, I'm going to give you a couple options this time. This is that buffet again, these menu items. So the one we did earlier, our palms were down and or the elbows were down, forearms. You can choose either one of those. You can also, if you want to work on chest openers, you can also bring one fist at a time to the back of the hips. Draw the elbows toward each other as you lengthen the spine and fold down. An even deeper expression of this pose, which I won't be able to stay in very long, I'll just show it to you, would be to clasp the fingertips behind you, draw the arms long down by your tailbone, and then lift them up and away from your body. And my shoulders don't want to do that, but if that's where you are, by all means, practice for your body. This is your practice. Close your eyes. Feel that breathing as if you could put one hand on your heart again and one on your chest. What would you feel? You want to keep that long, fluid, diaphragmatic breathing happening. As we breathe again, we lift the head up from wherever we are. We release the arms underneath us for support if they were not already. We're going to bend the front right foot as we bring our bodies around. We're going to step the right foot back to meet the left, come into our plank of choice. Nice, guys, plank of choice. As we exhale, we're going to draw the elbows into the body, lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra of choice. Exhale, we release. Inhale, up and back, Utthita Balasana. Extended child's pose. You can rock side to side. Hips are warm. Shoulders have been opened. Our bodies at the beginning of the class. We're massaging those muscles of the forehead, those muscles that often get furrowed with the stress and tension of the day. We're just massaging it right out. From here, we're going to steady ourselves. We're going to bring ourselves up, lower this right hip, and bring the legs forward. Nice. Moving into staff pose, staff Dandasana. So the first thing I want us to do is I want us to back our buttocks away. And if you're comfortable, I want you to move your glute muscle, biggest muscle in our bodies. I want you to move them off your sits bones so you actually feel the sits bones connecting. Good. Now from here, let's flex those toes. I want you to tap your sternum, and I want you to lift that up. Notice how when you do, the belly naturally comes in. The shoulders naturally slide down the back. Beautiful. As we inhale, we reach. As we exhale, bring our hands to our heart. Inhale, we bring it forward. And we extend one arm and then the other. By the way, our arms might be right here on our quads. They may be on our shins. They could be ankles, feet. They're on feet. I'm going to recommend that they're flexed. Why? Because that keeps extension in the back of the legs. And that's what we're going for here is hamstring extension. Now, once we're here, see if we can lift up out of that belly. See if we can not sink into our belly. We can allow there to be some space there. Lengthening as we breathe. Good. Let's close the eyes. Let's shake the head, yes. And no. And let's breathe. On our next inhalation, we're going to lift our head, and we're going to release one hand at a time. We're going to bring our feet down, bending at our knees. Let's come to the middle or front edge of the mat. I'm going to have you go back in a moment into Shavasana, so I want you to have the length of your mat to do so. Let's bring our hands underneath our knees. Come into our boat pose. Remember, boat can be here with everything touching, pointed toes touching, chest is lifted, elbows are drawn in. Boat can be here, boat can be here, boat can be here or here, and boat can be here, and boat can be here. Woo! And I'm gonna feel good right about here. Good. I'm shaking, but I am breathing fluidly. I want you to as well. So find the position where you can breathe fluidly. You can laugh at yourself, but you know you're working. Woo! Exhale, bring our hands to our heart. Just go with me. Go with me. Extend the legs and bring it up. We do two more. Down and up. Oh, yeah. Fast twitch muscle fibers. That means we're working back up. Hands down. 1 foot at a time down. Beautiful. Now we get to inhale, get tall. And as we exhale, we get to round like a cat. We're going to slowly walk the hands down the back of the thighs, pull the belly in, support. I want you to lie all the way back in Shavasana. Remember, if you're taking care of your spine, what might feel really good is to keep the knees bent. Bring your feet hip distance apart and allow the knees to fall one toward the other. If you'd like to, and you want to open your hips, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to walk your feet toward each other and allow your hips to open side to side. Typically, the arms in Shavasana are at your side, and the palms are face up in a receptive manner. By all means, I want you to find the pose that is comfortable for you. I'm going to turn some of our lights off. Those who are joining us, I think you'll still be able to see us, and I know you'll be able to hear us. And those who are online, this might be a good time for you to dim the lights wherever you're practicing. And if you have some scented oil or lotion that you could rub into your own temples or wrists, that might be nice. So we take a moment to breathe long and fluid and deeply. This is a time where you get to rest. Your body has worked. Your mind has had to stay engaged. But this is when you can let it all relax. This pose is called Shavasana. And translated, it means corpse pose. Now, it's not named that to be morbid. It's named that because a corpse holds no stress. So can we lie here, releasing all the stress from every part of our body and letting it just sink into the mat below us? Can we breathe long and fluid and deeply, thanking our bodies for the work that they've done? And can we think for a moment about our scripture tonight? Can we think back to a time in our life when it appeared that all of our enemies appeared at once to overwhelm us? It seemed too much. And yet, either in one fell swoop or maybe a little bit more gradually, God fought for you. He gave you that peace in the midst of the war. He showed you that He has a way, even if it's different than the one that you had conceived on your own. Long, fluid, deep breaths. What about Joshua's boldness? Do we have the boldness to come to God like that and request such a thing? When it's for God's will, what does He tell us? To knock and the door will be opened. To search and we will find, and to ask and it will be given to us. Not as a way of getting earthly pleasures or material things that we want, but when our prayers align with God's will for our life, it is a resounding yes. So spending just a few moments in prayer with God. Maybe you just want to praise Him for how good He is. Even if there isn't anything, quote, good happening in your life right now, He's still good. We saw His goodness when we woke up this morning. We saw it again when we first glimpsed outside after dawn. And it continued on throughout the day as we were able to connect with loved ones. As we drove or logged on to places that provide us a way to support ourselves and our family. And we breathe. We breathe Him in. long, fluid, deep breaths. Wherever you are, slowly you begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing awareness back into your body. From here, you extend one leg at a time if the knees were bent. From here, you do draw your knees to your chest and then gently roll them to one side of the body or the other, taking your body with them so that you find yourself in pose of the unborn child. And we stay here for a breath cycle or two. From here, when we're ready, we extend our top leg all the way onto the floor for support. We press against the floor with our top hand while we're still lying on our side. We press up and move into a comfortable seated position. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like. So we were here in pose of the unborn child. So you extend this top leg like this. You press against the floor with the top hand. Then you can come up kind of slowly and gradually. And whatever leg you put on top, switch it out. Put the opposite one on top. Very nice. From here, let's extend up with our arms. As we exhale, let's draw our fingers past our face and our head, home of our rationale and our ego. Let's bring them past our lips, which we close. Draw them to our heart center, and we humbly tuck our chin under as well. And we can turn the music off now. Thank you so much. Father, thank you for this time to be together, to move these bodies that you have given us. Eddie, would you mind cutting the music, sweetheart? Thank you. Thank you for giving us this time to be together, to move these bodies that we can lift and lower for granted. Father, thank you for our friends who are joining us online tonight. Thank you for everyone that is here in this room. Thank you for your word, Father. An ancient story from thousands of years ago about warriors in a far-off land can give us a glimmer of your character and insight into how we too can look at things when we feel outnumbered and overwhelmed. We ask all of these things in the holy and the matchless name of Jesus, the Christ, the Anointed One, the Redeemer of the human race, whose very name means God saves. Amen. Amen. Take your time. How do you guys feel? Thank you. Warmed up a little bit, got warm, and then we did some stretching. Yeah. Yes. Yes, we really didn't get up above here except for, yes. Good, I'm glad you like that. Always try to make it a little bit different each time. And there's so much to do down here. Cindy, I hope you had a good time. I can't see who else is on the screen with us, but I hope you guys had a good practice as well. All right. Well, have a wonderful night, everybody. I'll see you next week. Oh, and I will be here next week. I know for a lot of people that have school age kids, and we still do too. Madeline is a sophomore. I know it's spring break, but I'm still gonna. I'm in town, so I'm gonna be here. I know there are lots of us that don't have school age kids. Remember, whatever you like, if you bought the 4 or the 8 class pack, and this goes for our friends online too, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to use that. In other words, it's okay if like there's a week that I'm teaching and you're not available. So it's not 4 weeks in a row. It's any 4 weeks or any 8 weeks. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate that, love. And thank you guys online. I'll see you later. I know. Just remember all of that when you're going to bed tonight, and you'll sleep well.